Go to www.sovereigncomics.co.uk and get your latest issue of Mr. Numbervator's Maths comic book series today. You are now tuned in to the Mr. Numbervator show every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. on Chalk Hill Community Radio Station. Let's get mathematical.
Good evening and welcome. It's Wednesday, it's 5:30, and yes, you've got me, Mr. Numbervator, for the next 1 hour on the Maths Show. Now, every single week when I start my program, I'm always smiling about what is going to happen in the show. And on today's show, it is really, really exciting. I've got a very, very, very special guest who's coming to the studio to be interviewed with me. We've got some more special guests who are here waiting to be interviewed, and I just can't wait to start today's show. So, it's Chalk Hill Community Radio Station, it's me, Mr. Numbervator, it's 5:30, and it's the Maths Show. And as you know, on the Maths Show, everything we do is to do with maths, education, and learning. I want to introduce you to my special guest, and her name is Farah London. Now, you might have heard of Farah London during the time of 2021 when we were having the mayoral elections, and Farah London actually ran for Mayor of London position. She is now running as an independent candidate for the London Assembly. Now, I'm going to let Farah explain to you what the London Assembly is, but I'm just so excited that Farah is sitting in front of me. So good evening, Farah.
Good evening. I'm so excited to be here.
And you are so welcome into the studio for Chalk Hill Community Radio Station. It's great to have you here. So Farah, for the benefit of my listeners, can you please tell me, what do you do and what are you aiming for in May?
Absolutely. What do I do? What don't I do? What don't I do?
Even better.
Do you know what? I just live with passion and purpose, and I live to serve people. I get excited about youth, and that's why I wanted this to be the first radio show, because it's about youth, and that's what I'm here to support.
Fantastic.
And I just, I'm committed. I'm dedicated. I'm an entrepreneur, been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. I am a political figure. Right. And I'm a philanthropist. So, that all combined, I think it's fundamental that we all have these elements in our lives.
Perfect.
And what am I doing? I am running for an election.
Right.
Again. Yes. I'm crazy. I'm doing it again.
And the date is May the 2nd. May the 2nd. Fantastic.
And it is for the London Assembly. Right. And for those of you who don't know, and most of you don't, because no shame in that.
No.
Most of us do not know what the London Assembly does.
Sure.
But we should.
You're going to tell us.
We should know, because it's really important. Sure. The London Assembly, you can call it the Parliament of London. It's 25 elected people, and those 25 people are responsible for key decisions for Londoners.
Wow.
So they basically are there to approve or veto the mayor's budget and policies. So none of the mayor's decisions can go through unless he gets the Assembly, a majority.
Wow.
And that's why it's so important. Right. So the London Assembly should obviously hold accountable the mayor and work with the mayor, obviously with guidance, talking about policies, and they sit on various committees as well. Sure. To also which help running of London. So I'm running for the London-wide seat.
Right. And I mentioned that's independent.
I am an independent candidate, and this is why this is really important. We have never, till date, had an independent on the London Assembly.
Amazing. It's
only been political party led with political agendas.
Yep.
And why on earth have we not had an independent? So that's why I'm running. It's time we have an independent voice, one that's not governed by political agenda, one that's governed by the people.
And that's going to be you.
Absolutely.
That's definitely going to be you.
100%.
And I can't wait until May the 2nd to watch you on the television and to hear the good news.
Thank you. Well, listen, it's not about me. It's about us.
Yeah.
So I need to do it with the community. It's not something I can do on my own. I need the community to put me in that seat. And they know that I'm their trusted voice, because I haven't stopped. I haven't stopped fighting for them, and I won't stop.
Thank you. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Now, Farah, there's a lot of people. When I told people that you were coming into the studio, I was inundated with requests to come into the studio, phone calls to speak to you, emails, messages, everything. I've got sitting next to you Melissa Evans, and Melissa Evans is an assistant head teacher at a primary school. And Melissa was coming to speak to you and to ask you a question about how you feel and what you feel you can bring to the community of London when, I'm not saying if, I'm saying when you win your seat as an independent candidate on the London Assembly. So good evening, Melissa.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here, Isaac. And it's been amazing to meet Farah. Thank you for having me here also.
Melissa, it's great to have you here. So for the benefit of the listeners and the viewers, I do work with Melissa, and I've known Melissa a long time. And I've always said, if you ask Melissa, I've always said she will be a head teacher within the year. As far as I'm concerned, she should be a head teacher already, but Melissa is on the up. And to have Melissa sitting next to Farah, I can see there's a synergy already. Look at that. What a beautiful pose that would have been. But there's a synergy. So Melissa, over to you. I know you've got a question to ask.
Yes, I do. So I am the assistant head teacher for the quality of education. So curriculum and young people is very much something that I am really invested in. Even now I've just come off of a maths residential working with the ACETM.
That's right.
Training to become a mastery specialist in mathematics. So my question for you, Farah, is all about improving outcomes for pupils.
Yes.
So once you are on the board, how do you intend to improve outcomes for our communities, especially where underachievement is prevalent? And what steps will you prioritize in order to enhance young learners' education?
So there's a few really key points on this. The first fundamental point is there's 3 factors: home, community, and the school. They need to work together collaboratively. It's disconnected, disjointed right now. And to really steer a young person's education, these 3 need to work together, hand in hand. Because you can't leave it upon a parent alone.
No.
You can't leave it upon a school, and you can't leave it upon a community. It needs to be done hand in hand. Now, I spoke at the Houses of Parliament last month for United Nations Education Day, and I wanted to highlight how the education system is failing our youth. And one of the really big problems that we have in society is where they're not diagnosing early learning disabilities. We're putting, we have the emphasis on hearing and speech, but what about dyslexia?
Sure.
And other key issues that will prohibit a child to learn?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they don't get diagnosed, and then age 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's when you get disruptive behavior because they don't understand.
Sure.
They can't keep up. So one thing I really want to do is ensure that our London schools are ensuring we are testing for learning disabilities.
Fantastic.
And we're addressing them.
Yes.
So that child from that early age will get that care that they need and get the special attention that they need because they're not getting that right now.
No.
And a lot of these youth, they're good kids.
Very good.
They're great kids. But
And you're going to meet a couple
Yeah.
I know, I'm really excited. From your school.
Yes.
But the thing is, they have so much opportunity and we are letting them down. It's our responsibility. And again, 3 of us, the community, the education system, of course, yes, the government as well, and the family. As a unit, we need to work together to ensure we're giving quality education. Another thing that we need to do is push on curriculum change.
Yeah.
It's outdated.
Yeah.
It's prehistoric. It needs to be interactive. It needs to be, something where a child was passionate about going to school and learning. We need to change it up.
Yeah.
We need to make it more interactive with the senses, with creativity, because this is how our youth are responding. I mean, look at these incredible music videos that they're doing, or even, look at their TikToks. They've got incredible imaginations. They've got talent. Why are we not taking that talent and, actually enhancing it? I hope that answers.
No, it
There's a
does.
lot I want to do. I could be here all day. I can give you a manifesto.
Yeah, no, early intervention is key,
Yes.
especially in the primary sector.
Sure.
And getting that early help, because we just notice as our pupils progress throughout the school, if it's not addressed early enough, those barriers are real barriers that prohibit them from access to the curriculum, and the gap just continues to widen, especially for the disadvantaged pupils. So I think early intervention is key, and all key stakeholders working collaboratively together to improve outcomes. And what you touched upon in terms of the curriculum, that's something I lead on, and I feel representation as well is really important in enabling our pupils to want to learn and to engage in the curriculum. So everything you mentioned I feel is really important, and you hit the nail on the head.
It's about community leaders actually coming together, working with schools. I'll give an example. In Croydon, we have Anthony King. I don't know if you've heard of him. He truly is the king of Croydon, because he's a community leader, but he really goes above and beyond to connect with every single head teacher in Croydon, from the colleges to the schools to primary, to make sure that we're getting it right. Good. And we need to make sure across London, in the 32 boroughs, 33 if you include City of London, but across the 32 boroughs, we need to make sure we have identified community leaders within that community who are working collectively with the schools. We need to have a board together, really. Regular meetings.
Yes.
I mean, Farah, earlier you mentioned some key words. You mentioned the fact that you want children to feel excited about coming to school. You want to capitalise on their talents and their imagination and creativity. That's the reason why I'm so happy to have you in the studio. And that's the reason why I knew that with Melissa asking you the question, that was going to allow you to explain and explore all the possibilities of what is going on. Now, as you know, I go into different schools every day, and what I see is exactly what you've just touched upon. I don't see enough excitement. I don't see enough productivity. The talented children, it's almost like they're being held up, and they're not allowed to show their imagination, their creativity. And that's another reason why you've got our backing. Yes. You've got our backing 100%. And it's people like you who are going to help us to change the face of education.
Do you know another thing that really disappoints me when I talk to youth, and one thing that really breaks my heart actually, when I say to them, "Oh, what do you want to do? What are you going to do with yourself?" And they say, "Oh, I can't do anything, ma'am." I'm like, "Sorry, why?" "Oh, because I can't, because I'm from here, or I'm from Dagenham, or I'm from here." I say, "Who told you that?" They say, "Oh, it's just how it is." Well, my teacher said I can't do anything. And that's another problem.
Expectation.
Teacher expectation.
Teachers are so demotivated and overwhelmed in the classrooms themselves, the workload. And I don't blame them, because they're not getting that support from the government system, you could call it. So therefore, how can a demotivated person motivate an individual? It's difficult. So we really need to change that system, where we need to actually invest in our teachers as well, and get them excited again, because they're not excited anymore. And head teachers are suffering trying to motivate their teams. And that's not fair, putting all that pressure on one person, because it's just a breaking system. So it's not only that we have to change this system from the youth, but we have to change it ground up from, the youth to the teachers to the whole system. Everything has to change, and it's called common sense, and I just don't understand why no one's doing it.
Well, we're hoping, we know that you are going to win that place, and so we're going to come knocking on your door, because
I'm ready.
And I can see that, I can feel that as well. So very shortly we've got a young person who's going to come in very shortly, and there's a couple of young people from Melissa's school, and they're in year 5. And the reason why they're coming onto the show this afternoon is to show you exactly what you've been speaking about. I want them to show you how excited they are about learning, how excited they are about mathematics. And Miss Evans can tell you more, but their achievement in mathematics across the school is phenomenal. And when they're sitting next to you, and when you hear me asking them questions, you're going to be thinking, how on earth do they know these answers? But it's because in the school where Melissa works, there's an emphasis on allowing children to be the best, to be creative. And we're looking at someone very special who's just walked in, or two of them have just walked in. Okay, well, can I just say, Melissa, thank you very, very much for coming into the studio. You know you're always welcome.
Yes.
Melissa, you know you're always welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm sure, Farah, this won't be the last time you're going to come into the studio.
And take my mobile number. Call me anytime.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll stay connected.
Yeah, stay connected.
That's perfect.
I am someone that wants to be accessible, so I'm always happy to give my mobile number because I want you to contact me.
Farah, that's lovely.
Yes.
Thank you very
I'm
much
wishing
indeed.
you all the best.
Thank you
That's
so
really
much.
perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Lovely
much
to meet you.
Nice to
You
meet
too.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think we've got someone special who's going to be walking over to me shortly. And I think that person is Milau.
Is Malau loud on camera?
Yes, Milau. Milau's mum is here. Milau, there's a quick picture, there's a quick photo shoot. Look at that. That's a beautiful picture. A beautiful picture. Okay, there we go. So Milau, have a seat, Milau. Good evening.
Hi, Malau.
Good evening, Milau. Move a bit closer to this. That's a good boy. Are you nervous? A little bit. Who am I?
Mr. Numbervator.
And what do I do in your school?
Teach math.
And how good are you at maths?
Good.
Are you better than me?
Dinner.
You don't know, Milau. I'm telling you, when you are older, you will be better than me. And the reason why I've called you in, I asked your mum's permission. The reason why I called you in is to show you off. So sitting next to you is a lady called Farah. So do you want to say good evening to Farah?
Good evening.
Lovely to meet you.
Right, you've heard of the Mayor of London, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay, Sadiq Khan, yeah? So in 2021, Farah was in competition to become the Mayoress of London, at the same time as Sadiq Khan. Now she's going for a different position on it's called the London Assembly, and they are a group of people who look at what is happening, what the mayor is doing, and making sure that the mayor is doing the right thing, and making sure that the mayor is directed as to do what is right. So by having you on the radio this afternoon, you know I'm going to ask you some maths questions, and I know how good you are, and I know that your mum is sitting opposite me. Good evening, Mum. How are you?
Hi, Mum.
Hi. Good evening, Mum. And I'm just so proud of you. Yeah. So when was the last time you saw me?
On Monday.
It was on Monday, wasn't it? Yeah. So are you ready for your questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's a question that you can't answer, what do I always do? Of course I do, okay? So, how many sides are there on a pentagon?
5.
How many hours are there in 3 days?
72.
What is 3/4 plus a half?
1
Try again, 3/4.
1 1/4.
Good boy. How many degrees are there in a circle?
0.
In a complete circle? 360.
160.
Well done. I'm going to give you a calculation, and you might have to use a special process to get the answer. 6 plus 7 times 3. Do you know what to do?
39.
How did you
Wow.
how did you get? First of all, what did you do?
I did 6 and 7,
Yeah.
which is 13. Then I times 13 times.
Okay. Have you heard of big maths? I think I've taught you big maths. It's about the order in which we do our do you remember calculations, yeah? So B stands for brackets, I stands for indices, D stands for division, M stands for multiplication, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. So that's the order in which you're going to do the calculation. So do you want to think about giving me a different answer? So 6 plus 7 multiplied by 3. What do you think you're going to have to do first?
6
The 7,
times
3.
3.
And what is 7 times 3?
21.
And then what are you going to add to the 21?
6.
And what's the answer?
27.
Fantastic.
This is a future chancellor.
Oh, can you imagine it? No, but I think he does.
Right here, future chancellor. I called it.
Absolutely amazing. On the 24-hour clock, if a 24-hour clock reads 23:17, What is that time on a 12-hour clock?
11:17
Is that AM or PM?
p.m.
Good boy. How many faces are there on a cuboid? Or a cube? How many faces on a cube? You know,
6.
well done. And what is 3 squared?
9.
How did you get the answer of 9?
I did 3 times 3.
So 3 squared means 3 times 3. So what would 3 cubed be?
27.
Wow. Listen, Milau, I'm going to call you back to the table later on this evening, okay? Because we're going to have a times tables competition. Me, yourself, me, and Lorenzo. But you have been amazing. Are you still nervous?
Can
No.
I just say,
Yeah.
I am so impressed. I am so impressed. There's probably children double or even triple your age, even adults, that couldn't answer 90% of those questions. So you should be really proud of yourself. Really proud.
I'm
proud.
I'm proud. I'm honoured. I'm honoured and I'm proud, Milau. And when I spoke to your mum to get her permission for you to come onto the show, this is what we spoke about. So you can ask your mum what I said about you and what the teachers say about you. And it's not just your knowledge of mathematics, because Farah said it earlier, it's about the whole picture of you. It's your manners, it's your intention, it's your belief.
It's your character.
And it's exactly, and it's your confidence, Milau. And Farah said it earlier, you deserve to be the next Chancellor of the Exchequer. But even
So I want you to put that as a target in the future.
Yes, it has to be, because we're aiming high with you. And we, that includes Farah and myself, we are not going to let you slip up at all. And you won't anyway. You've got lovely parents. So well done. I'm going to call in Loretta. Do you want to swap seats for me?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Milau. And Milau, outside, you've got some snacks. So you can start helping yourself to but as long as Mum, did you hear your son? Were you proud? Oh, 100%. Come in, please, Lorenzo. Now, Lorenzo, say good evening to
Hi,
Farah.
Lorenzo. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Lovely to meet you.
I mean, Farah, can you just tell already, from the way Lorenzo said, I'm really good, how are you?
Absolutely.
You can just see the family house.
Absolutely.
And that's Lorenzo's mum over there, who I know.
And
very
the
well.
smile. Look at that
I know,
champion
I
smile.
know. Now, about, I think 6 months ago, Lorenzo came onto the show and he had to answer 15 times tables questions in the shortest time. And guess what?
He did it.
He did it.
He smashed it.
And
I'm guessing he smashed
He
it.
did, because he did in the shortest time. So to show Lorenzo off, I've got some questions that I'm going to ask him, and you're going to see how fast this young boy, he's only in year 5, so you're 10. Are you 10, aren't you?
Yeah.
Good boy. And it's amazing. So Lorenzo, are you nervous?
Yeah.
Why are you? Who
I
are,
don't know.
who am I?
Mr. Numbervator.
So when I come into work with you, are you nervous then?
No.
So are you nervous because you're in the studio?
Yeah.
And you're sitting next to Farah. But look over there, your mum is here. So don't worry. And Miss Evans is here, and I know that the head teacher is listening. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Right. 10 times 2.
20.
6 times 4.
Oh, sorry. 24.
10 times 9.
90.
4 times 8.
28. No. 20.
Try again. 4 times 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 16.
32.
Brilliant. 12 times 9.
108.
9 times 2.
18.
11 times 4.
44.
8 times 9.
Is it
8.
72?
Good boy. 9 times 7.
54.
Try again. You're very close. 9 times 7.
10.
10 times 7 is 70. So if you count back 7, what will you get to?
66.
Try again.
64.
1 less.
63.
Good boy. And 9 times 5.
45.
7 times 11.
77.
And 12 times 12.
140.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Amazing.
Okay, I have to.
Farah, what do you think?
That was amazing.
That was
was
amazing.
amazing. Wow, that was really impressive.
Right.
You love maths, don't you? I can tell. And you should. You're really good at it.
Oh, he is. Oh, definitely he is. And Lorenzo, what's your favourite topic in maths? I mean, you know my favourite one is fractions, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what's your one?
Honestly, it's multiplication.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And how did you feel about answering those questions this evening?
I felt nervous but happy at the same time
Brilliant.
because
Brilliant.
being at the studio is a big thing,
Yeah.
and I felt really proud of myself.
You should feel proud. We're
100% proud. I mean, I'm not going to look at your mum because there could be some tears in her eyes. But Lorenzo, I asked for you specifically from Miss Evans because I knew what you were going to bring to this evening, and you have brought such excitement and such energy. And who cares if you don't get an answer right? Because it's all part of learning. I get things wrong all the time. And on Monday, I'm going to get to see you again. And there's things that you might not know, but this is what education and learning is all about. And this is what Farah wants to bring to London.
And can I just say, I hope one day I see you head of Bank of England.
Really,
Absolutely.
one day I hope that I'll see you mayor.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank you so much.
Where did that come from? That wasn't part of the script, was it?
Thank you. I will work hard for it. I promise you.
Lorenzo, is there anything that you want to ask me, or is there anything that you want to ask Farah about what she's doing, or do you want to ask me a question? Do you want to put me on the spot? Here we go. It's going to be interesting.
How will you make London a better place for everybody?
Oh my, Farah, before he answers, now, Farah, just to let you know that Lorenzo has thought of that question on his own. I had no idea that he was going to ask that question. And Lorenzo, that just shows your intelligence, your maturity, but more important, it just shows your passion for life. So over to Farah.
Thank you for asking that. Well, I want inclusivity in London. I want everyone to feel proud to be a Londoner. And that means I ask people, are you a Londoner? They say, oh, no, I'm not a Londoner. I wasn't born here. I want people to know, even if you weren't born here, you are a Londoner. It's an identity that we hold. If you live or work in London, you're a Londoner. And I want people to feel safe. I want people to feel excited about being in London. I want them to have opportunities for incredible youths like you, where we're there to promote you and, support you in your education so you can be all that you want to be, whatever that is. So the London that I see is a happier London, one that is united and ignited. So I look forward to making that happen, and I look forward to watching your journey to wherever it is you want to be, and I'm here to support you and everyone else in London and all the youth.
That is really cool.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God! Wow, what a reply!
Mum, can I give him a hug?
Oh, look at that! Oh, wow, Farah, thank you so much, Farah. That is amazing. So, Lorenzo, outside there's some snacks, but we're going to call you back in again because I think you have to go somewhere, don't you, later on today?
It was cancelled.
Oh, okay. So we might have you for longer then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So because we're going to have a times tables playoff, and so what's going to happen? I'm going to ask Farah to call out the questions, and it's a competition between me, you, and Milal. And who's going to win?
Probably not me.
Why do you say probably not you?
I don't know.
You're good enough. You're good enough to challenge me. I know you are. Yeah. So well done, thank you, Lorenzo. And I'm going to call you. Have a little snack or something to drink, yeah? Well done, good boy, thank you. So Farah, here we go. So Farah, we've got my next caller on the line.
Excellent.
And I'm going to introduce you to Mrs. Marva Rollins.
Okay.
And her name is Mrs. Marva Rollins, OBE. And she's calling especially to talk to you because she wants to ask you a question. And good evening, Marva. Can you hear me? Oh, fantastic. Good evening, Marva. It's good to have you. Good to have you back on the show again. So, Marva, you're live. You're live on the radio. So I'm just going to pass you over to Farah. So, Marva, I'm going to introduce you to Farah, and Farah introduce you to Marva.
Lovely to meet you, Marva.
Good evening, Farah. Before we finish, I just want to wish you good luck with your London Assembly venture.
Thank you
I really do
so
wish
much.
you good luck.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Okay. So, Marva, over to you for your question.
Okay, Farah, I've known Isaac for over 25 years, and I know how dynamic and encouraging he is for our young people around maths. He's very, very, very creative. He's worked with me. We've worked together for a long time. So I'm a retired head teacher, and traditionally in education, stereotypes that boys are good at maths and girls are good at writing. I don't know how good, I'm just curious about how good you were with maths when you were in school and whether that stereotype affected you in any way. And if it did, what messages would you like to give to young girls today?
What a lovely question.
Yes, and I will be completely honest. I wouldn't say math is my strongest area. And I feel that's because they just gave us calculators. They didn't let us use our minds.
Sure.
And I really feel that was a downfall because in my generation in class, we were just given a calculator and told just figure it out in a calculator.
Yeah.
And because of that, I feel the system failed me and so many others because they didn't encourage us to use our mind. And I think that is something like I just saw today that's not happening, which is great because we need to encourage our youth to think and calculate without mind because you can't always rely on a calculator. Sure. We are the calculator generation. Let's be honest. Yes. We are. Yes, you are as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, no, obviously not now.
No, not now.
But we have been brought up that way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Marvin.
Yes, so really, we need to be encouraging girls because again and again, the national statistics just show that boys outperform girls in maths consistently over decades, really. So it's just how we can get our girls to believe in themselves as mathematicians. I mean, you look at the hidden figures, Catherine and the others, and you can see how talented women can be, can't we?
Yes, yes. And Marva, can I just add to the question that that you asked Farah, because you and I were speaking about a statistic that came out recently, and I'm just going to read it out to Farah, and then maybe Farah can comment on it, and maybe you can add some flesh to the bones as well. So 50% of black children today are still living in poverty. And when we spoke about this, we were alarmed, we were upset. And I just wanted to ask Farah how you feel about hearing this statistic that came out recently. And Marva, is there anything you want to add to that, please?
It's for me, I was in education for a long time, and as you know, I chose to work in areas of the greatest areas of great poverty. And we have to remember, it's not the young children whose brains are poor; it's the situation they find themselves in, and therefore, as schools, we have a responsibility. But I was shocked at that data.
Yes.
And yeah, it is. And I know you need to go back to the 60s really to really unpick how we've got ourselves in this position today, I think.
Right. Farah?
It's shocking and it's just not acceptable. And we shouldn't be accepting it as a statistics. We should be asking the question, what do we need to do? How can we change this? This is not acceptable. And it's echoed across the UK. It's not isolated incidents. It's happening across the UK. So clearly the education system is failing because education should be equal opportunity for all.
100%.
We shouldn't have schools teaching a better education than other schools.
Sure.
We should have equal opportunities. We should have schools who are receiving, equal funding because it's unfair that kids are the one which are suffering.
Sure.
I work with some schools and, I do things like, in winter and things, get coats for the kids who parents can't afford to get them coats. And it's sad.
Yes, it is very
we
sad.
are a Western democracy.
Yes.
And we have children that can't afford to eat and parents can't afford to get them a coat. They're living in extreme poverty. And of course they're getting bullied at school.
Sure.
And that is affecting how they're learning.
Sure.
Because they're feeling isolated.
Yeah.
So the system is failing. And we need to hold the government accountable. The problem that's missing in our society is accountability. We have lots of statistics, but where's the accountability?
Yeah.
And it's time that we have leaders that will challenge the narrative and make change.
Fantastic. Marva?
Yeah, we have, I think it's a platitude. every time something like this comes up, the government says, well, we put another 2 billion into education or something like that. But it's just not, it's not getting to the heart of the problem. And the heart of the problem is how different parts of the country and London and other places define people. But I do think the challenge is now, because, not only did we buy coats, Farah, we bought all sorts of things for the children when I worked in my last school. I'm talking about from underwear to toothbrushes, everything we bought for our children because we felt we had a duty of care to them when the parents couldn't cope. But one of the things we're facing now, and I still work closely with several schools, is that the budget, schools are going into deficit budgets, and there are the schools in the neediest areas. And some are in negative budgets already, and some the forecast for the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
They'd be difficult. Probably a bit like the local authorities are having problems with their budgets as well. But that's had a knock-on effect on the schools. So it's really how we think and what power the London Assembly has. And just looking at that closely, to be £250,000 in deficit means that you have to cut staff.
Yeah.
So the staff that would have done the additional lessons with children, in the small groups, we're not having the small groups anymore because we can't afford the staff to help the children. And if you live in a high area of need, you do need some additionality. The teachers are stretched, but the budget situation of the local authorities is being reflected in its schools in London anyway. I'm not sure, because part of the issue was that when many of our Eastern European families went back home, they did not come back. So numbers in our schools have plummeted, and that's impacted on what's happening. So the children have an additional problem now. Wow. They will not be able to get additional support.
Marva, can I just say that what you've just said, you've basically outlined exactly what the root problem is. You've given some suggestions and some solutions. And now, with the support and backing of Farah, for example, in the London Assembly, I know, I can see that change will happen. And can I just say, from my heart, thank you very much for believing in me over the years. But Marva, you know that when it comes to education and when it comes to maths education, that is when I go into my element. And all I want to see happening is that young people are numerate, they are confident, they can function in our society confidently and competently. And that's another reason why I know that when Farah wins her seat on the London Assembly, we're going to see change happen. And we're going to see change happen rapidly as well. So thank you for your question, Marva.
Thank you. It was lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, and you, Farah, all the very best.
Thank
and
you.
Isaac will catch up soon.
Definitely.
And the families and children who are listening, good evening to you all. And enjoy working with Isaac. He stands head and shoulders above other maths teachers.
Thank you, Marva. I'm blushing. I'm blushing.
Yeah, but we can't see the blush.
No, you can't see the blush. I'm like, oh, thank you. Okay. Thanks a million. Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So adding to what Martha just said, when I do go into schools, I go into school as Mr. Numbervator, but I also go into schools as part of a partnership with 2 other colleagues, 2 other family friends, and 2 other best mates. And we are called Sovereign Comics. And Sovereign Comics know Farah, and Farah knows Sovereign Comics. And what Sovereign Comics is all about is about bringing learning and education, bringing it to the forefront, making it real, making it purposeful, making it meaningful. So not only through Sovereign Comics do we now have a maths comic, and to have a maths comic in this country is a first. It's a first. And what we are doing is we are teaching mathematics, English, literacy, all of the topics, all of the subjects. We are teaching young people through the comic format. Sitting in front of me I'm so happy to have Paul, and Paul is, for me, in my eyes, number one, because Paul is the one. When I write the lesson plans, when I write the actual mathematical content, Paul has the difficult job of shaping it and making it come alive so that it becomes readable and it becomes meaningful to our young children. So, Paul, good evening.
Good evenings.
Good evening, Paul. Paul, tell me a little bit about Sovereign Comics, please.
Well, Sovereign Comics is, we're all about edutainment. We're all about changing the face of entertainment and education. You know, it's about engaging our youth. It's not about us talking at them. It's about us talking with them.
Right.
You know, so that's what we're all about.
And Paul, can I just ask you? You've just come from a particular school at Sixth Form College.
Yes.
What goes on there with Sovereign Comics?
Yeah, so we're teaching at a SEN school, a special education needs school. Burlington, shout outs to Burlington.
Good evening, Burlington.
Yeah.
Good evening, Sixth Form, and good evening to Mr. Steve Proctor. Good evening, Steve. We love you, Steve Proctor.
Yeah.
And one day, Steve, I know you're going to meet Farah because once again, there's a synergy there straight away.
Oh, amazing.
Synergy. Anyway, sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Can't wait to meet you.
Yeah.
You will, Farah.
Yeah, he's an innovator. We click straight away.
100%.
I love the way he's very forward thinking.
Yeah.
He's very daring, and he's not afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
I really love that.
Yeah.
You know, people who think inside of the box. I say, we're going to leave in a box. Why are we going to live in a box? What's the point?
I love that. I do like that as well.
Yeah.
So, Paul, I understand that you've got a question that you'd like to ask Farah.
Yes, just in terms of innovation, having innovative ideas to, you know, there's many ways to approach a problem. If you was Prime Minister or you was to reach your goal, what does change look like for you?
In the education system? Or is...
Yeah, we could start with education, but in general, what does that look like for you?
I would say when I look at where we are now, I'm seeing a disconnected society,
Yes.
a depressed society,
Yes.
a society that is living hand to mouth. I mean, let's be honest, like everyone I talk to is suffering.
Yeah.
And everyone I talk to is just disconnected and you know, people just want to get away. Yeah. We used to be a proud country. So you can ask me as a Prime Minister, but we used to be a proud country. We were proud people. We're proud to be British, you know? Sure. And it just feels like we've just lost that feeling of being proud and that feeling of being connected to one another.
Yeah.
We have always been there for each other.
Sure.
But now when you look at the streets, people are walking with their head down.
Yeah. No one says hello to
No one says hello anymore.
No.
And it just shows me how we're fractured.
Yeah.
We're fractured.
Yeah.
And what do I see? My vision would be to see again us being connected, united, us to be at the forefront, achieving our goals really within all spectrums of industry. Yeah. Us to be having the best education system. People laugh at education system now. Yeah. They know it's not the best. And I want us to be at the forefront. I want our country to develop and really create all-stars. And I mean all-stars from the youth.
Sovereign Comics.
And that's something I really campaigned about in Mayor of London. I want us to create all-stars that we feel proud because they are going to be our export brand.
Of course.
They're going to take our brand and export it across the world, what it is to be British. And we used to have that pride. It always used to be the quality, that the best artists, the best this, the best that. We have invented so much across the world. And I just feel we've lost our footing on the international stage. So I want us to really push into education and really taking that next generation to new heights, new levels. So they represent our country with pride.
Yeah. And also, Farah, just to add to that, it's our legacy.
It is our legacy.
It's our legacy.
We need to continue our legacy. We don't have a legacy anymore.
No.
We've lost that.
Yeah.
And people have stopped looking at us for that. You know, they're going to the Germans. They're going elsewhere.
Yeah.
we're British, we should be proud and we should be shining, and we need the right leadership that will make us shine.
Well,
Yes.
when it comes to Sovereign Comics, we have got the right leadership there. Paul, how do you see Sovereign Comics moving forwards and adding value to what Farah just said?
Well, I feel like there's an amazing synergy
Yes.
between us. You know, I think a lot of people who are quite tuned in are singing from the same hymn sheet, but we don't know what that looks like. Not everyone knows what that looks like. And it takes people like Farah to be working with people on the grassroots level, actually listening to the people, which she does, which is the reason why she is here today, because she is someone who is working with the grassroots on the top and the bottom, you know, and that is the only time that you're going to get real solutions from the people that are actually on the field developing these.
Fantastic,
you know?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's absolutely brilliant. That's amazing. Paul, I know later on you're going to come back to another question for Farah.
Yes,
but can I just say, Paul, even as you were talking, the passion behind the way you asked the question and what you were saying, that hit me. And if it's hitting us as adults, can you imagine what it's going to do to a young person? And that's exactly, Farah, what we're on about when it comes to Sovereign Comics. That is why we take the time to produce these comics, because we know that there's passion in the words that Paul creates.
And can I just congratulate you for what you've done in Sovereign Comics, because it's groundbreaking. And I love how you put it into the education system. And I love that there is incredible head teachers that are incorporated into their curriculum.
Yes.
Because it's the way forward. It's it's the way children will connect and react. They're not connecting and reacting to the old curriculum.
Sure.
It's outdated. Again, I say it again.
Yeah.
Outdated.
Yeah. We want to gamify, we want to animate, we want to use all of these mediums to grab our youth back from the streets.
Perfect.
And grab them and pull them back into the classrooms.
Perfect.
And make it a place where they want to be, a place where we preserve their innocence.
Perfect. Paul, you've said it. You said you're going to come back again shortly. So Farah, thank you. No, thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you.
Farah, I've had an email from one of the listeners, and she's asked me to ask you this question. Her name is Michelle. She's a mother of 3 children, and her youngest child is in year 9, and she's asked me, good evening, Farah. It's so great. It's great to hear your voice on the radio, and I can feel your passion through the microphone. Farah, what will you do about not having enough good quality maths teachers and teachers in general to prepare our children as they enter year 9, year 10, and year 11? Which are crucial years, because in my son's school, we have a constant supply of supply teachers, and that does not bring consistency for our children's education.
Thank you so much for asking a very, very important question. And the reason it's important is I've spoken to teachers, and, you know, they struggle to get the grants to qualify to be a teacher.
Yes.
And one thing that we need to do is make sure mathematics is really important.
Sure.
It's such a critical part of our lives. And children need to learn mathematics, and we need to also teach them finance.
Yes.
How to deal with
Yes.
money. But, you know, there's incredible activities out there, which, you know, I've seen people trying to get into schools because they're trying to teach kids how to deal with money.
That's right.
Financial,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Financial literacy, exactly that. So we need to ensure our kids know financial literacy, but we need to make sure we have teachers to teach it.
The right teachers.
So we need to put more incentives to teachers to learn to become mathematical teachers.
Sure.
I feel that, you know, teachers aren't being incentivized.
No.
Students aren't being incentivized.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a lack of teachers.
Yeah.
And, you know, they actually probably earn more money being substitutes.
Sure.
So there's a problem there, isn't there?
And Farah, can I just say, when I go into hundreds of schools in 1 week, for example, and I want to say a big shout out to teaching assistants, because I have worked with and I have observed some amazing TAs, teaching assistants, and I just feel if there was a program that they could actually be put on so they could actually have a fast track to being class teachers. That is where I see how we can actually raise the achievement and the attainment of our young people.
I just want to say someone from live has said Rishi should be already doing this. The education, use for education, correct education, like you mentioned, financial education is so important.
Yes.
And if they had incentives, students and teachers there could be brighter, the world will, in the education system. So yes, he's absolutely right. Exactly
Yes.
what you're saying. He's echoing it.
Of course.
And again, it's common sense.
It is.
We're all talking about it,
Yes.
but why are they not implementing it?
Sure.
And I always say this, listen, if you want to make change,
Yeah.
you need to get a seat at the table. If you don't get a seat at a table, you're allowing a clown to take that seat.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of the clowns.
Yep.
Let's get seats at the table
And
and
let's-
let's change it ourselves.
We can do it.
Absolutely.
We can do it. Look, Farah, as far as I'm concerned, I can sit and talk to you for the whole night about education, about what's happening in the community, what's happening around London, because once again, I can feel your passion. And all I'm getting is hits upon hit. The latest one is why can't Farah replace our present Prime Minister? That's the question from a parent. But I don't know what to say about it. But Farah, this parent can feel your passion. You are talking about how she's feeling, and this is the reason why you're on the show this afternoon, this evening.
You know, all we want is a leader.
Yes.
We all deserve to have the right leaders. And
Sure.
of course, none of us feel that we're being represented. And I only do hope that we do have a leader that has passion and is committed
Sure.
and doesn't get involved in the day-to-day politics. That's why political parties are just dying their own
Yeah.
death,
Yeah.
because we're fed up.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm independent. I'm proud to be independent because I don't have a political party dictating to me what I can
Brilliant.
and cannot say.
Sure.
I say what the people are thinking. And that's why it's all about independence. And that's why on a London Assembly, let's get someone independent. And who knows, in the future, we may have an independent Prime Minister.
Wow, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Well, Farah, in a minute, we're going to get in the two children. And I've got some questions for you to ask. The two children from outside, they're going to come in and they're going to sit on either side of you. And we're going to have a face-off. So
Great.
it's going to be those two children
Against you.
against me.
Let's do it.
Now, I've told them that there can only be one winner. But we're going to see. We're going to see. So they're going to come into the studio. Come in. Come in and sit down.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Milal.
back.
Welcome back, Lorenzo.
Let's get you both.
So Milal, do you want to... Lorenzo, come and sit here. Come and sit next to Farah. So tell me, did you have some nice snacks outside?
Yeah.
Have you eaten? Did you eat? Is the food nice? What did you eat?
The chocolate eggs.
Chocolate eggs. Did you have any of the food?
We had the crisps.
What did you have, Lorenzo?
Same.
You didn't have any of the rice or the chicken or the fish? Or maybe later. Did you see the fish out there? You didn't see the fish out there?
I didn't know which one was the fish.
Oh, don't worry. It wasn't wiggling its tail. Right, here we go. Now, Milal and Lorenzo, every single Monday when I come into your school, you're always telling me that you can beat me when it comes to the times tables. You are always telling me that one day you're going to be better than me. And I said that to Farah, one day you will be better than me. And when you are better than me, us, everyone in the community, it means we've done our job. And Farah said it earlier, both of you are our legacy. You are our legacy. And so what Farah is doing is she's putting you on that road. She wants to catapult you so that people listening know that we have got amazing, talented, confident, well-balanced young people in our society. And this is what is making it so special. So Farah, I've got some questions here. And, I've got some questions here. And Farah's going to read the questions out. And we're going to see who can answer the question in the fastest time. Now, I know that your mums are filming this, so I've got to make sure that I'm ready, but I don't need to be ready because I'm Mr. Numbervator. So, Milal, why are you laughing? Are you going to beat me? You're going to beat me? Milal, why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
All right, okay. So, I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
Farah, yes.
And are you going to tap or something? You're just going to
Well,
shout it out?
I'm going to be the first each time.
Oh, wow. He's
Yeah.
really confident.
So make sure that you shout out before me, okay?
Both of you have to beat him.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
It's 3 of us against you.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. 12 times 8.
98. What?
96.
96.
Yeah.
9 times 8.
72.
9 times 9.
91.
3 times 6.
18.
12 times 4.
48.
This is pretty tight.
Yeah, I know.
6 times 8.
48.
There, you got to put slow on there.
Yeah.
7 times 6.
42.
What?
No, 42. This is amazing. This is brilliant.
12 times 11.
132.
132.
Yeah, 132.
Yeah.
132.
3 times 12.
36.
4 times 10.
40.
40.
And the last one. Or are we doing the other side?
We can do the other side if
Okay.
you want.
7 times 9.
63. Okay, let's go for the other
7
side.
times 6.
84.
Four-
Or 7
my-
times 6.
42.
9 times 6.
54.
6 times 8.
48.
3 times 12.
36.
Ah.
9 times 12.
108.
Oh, you beat me on that one. Wow, that was amazing. Right, listen, look, Lorenzo and Milal, I'm going to say it again. When I see young children like you work in the way that you do with your intelligence and with your confidence, I mean, there's tears in my eyes, but there's no tears because I'm just so proud of you. And I get to work with you once a week. And when I'm working with you, it's the quality of learning, it's the quality of what you are bringing into the classroom that makes me so happy. And I just feel so warmed, Farah, when I go into their school and other schools I go into. I mean, these 2 children represent all the schools that I go into because I'm seeing talented children, I'm seeing outstanding lessons, and I'm seeing children and teachers in schools who are just off the scale. And this is why I wanted to show you off to Farah this evening.
And remember, we've got Bank of England
Yes?
and the Chancery
Yes, Chancellor. Yes.
of Exchequer. So, one day, okay? I'll be
Okay. Lorenzo, is there anything you want to ask Farah, or Milal, is there anything else you want to ask Farah? Have you been happy with the interview today?
Yeah.
Are you happy with me?
Yeah.
Are you going to sack me or keep me in my job?
Keep you on your job.
Keep me in my job, okay.
I'll give you a raise.
Oh,
Way! Oh my God! Listen, do you know what? Okay, Farah said about Bank of England and the Chancellor. I think you're going to go higher, Lorenzo.
that's just starting.
Oh, that's the start.
No.
That's the
Take
start.
it all the way.
Wow. And Milal, what do you want to do? You want to ask me a question, or do you want to say anything to Farah about today? Have you enjoyed the maths questions? Are there any any other questions that you think I can ask you about fractions?
Any questions?
Okay, so if I gave you the mixed number 3.5, what is 3.5 as an improper fraction? 3.5. Do you know what to do?
6. And 1/2.
Okay, 3.5 as an improper.
Oh no. 6. Oh no, 7/2.
Well done. 7/2. Yeah, brilliant. The same for you, Lorenzo.
Okay.
If I give you 4.25, what is that as an improper fraction? 4.25.
4 1/4.
Or can you tell me how you're thinking? What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out how to manage the numbers.
Okay.
So I need to think.
The whole number is 4, and then you're going to multiply that by the denominator of the quarter. So what will that give you? 4 times 4
16,
plus the 1.
17.
So the answer is 17.
Halves.
17 over 4. Well done. 17 quarters, yeah? How do you feel about that, Lorenzo?
As I said, I'm not that confident with fractions, but I felt good about that.
Exactly.
You know what? You tried.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
it's about.
Yeah, and that is all that matters. All that
Always
matters.
try.
Yeah. So well done. And Milal, thank you very much for coming into the studio. Remember, all the snacks out are for you, not the big people. So if the big people are there, then you just say, just say Farah will come out and deal with them. Okay? So listen,
Absolutely.
but can I just say thank you, mums, for allowing your children to come in.
Thank you so much.
So please stay behind because I want to come out and talk to you, and then Farah's going to come and talk to you, and maybe talk to your parents as well. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, boys. But well done. So get big clap. Amazing. And then I think we've got Paul coming to ask a final question. So Lorenzo and
Thank you.
Mela, do you want
I'll
to
see you outside.
Yeah, do you want to go and get a little drink?
Thank you.
Something to eat. Paul, do you want to come in? So Farah, just before we come to the close of the show, I think Paul might have a few words or a question that you want to ask our distinguished, amazing guest this evening.
Yes. So far, I thought the show was very informative. It's really nice to see the passion of everyone on the show. I'm even more taken in by what Farah is saying.
Yeah.
And the fact that she is here, it just speaks volumes. Just your presence here today speaks volumes.
Yeah. So thank you. Is that,
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to say a big thank you. And
I want to say thank you for having me here because I'm a great believer in what you're doing.
Thank you.
And it's people like you who bring change because you believe in youth and you let them know that their life has value.
Yeah.
And that's all they need to hear. And that is the stepping stone for their future. Because too many people around them are telling them that their life is worthless.
Sure.
So the moment they meet incredible individuals like yourselves that tell them, no, you know what? Your life has value and I believe in you.
I believe in 100%.
And I want to empower you and I want to get into your mind and let you think.
Sure.
The moment you do that, you've
Sure.
changed that child's life. So thank you to you guys.
Wow. Thank you, Farah. That's lovely. Thank you very much indeed.
More of you.
Well, that's what we're working on. So, Farah, just before we end the show, another listener was asking, can you just explain to the listeners once more, what are you running for? Who is the London Assembly? So it was what, who, and why are you running for a place on the London Assembly?
So, in a nutshell, I am running for the London Assembly. The London Assembly is effectively the Parliament of London. They are there, 25 elected people and 11 seats which are London-wide. I'm running for a London-wide seat.
Wow.
And the London-wide seat is the orange ballot paper. Just so you know, it's the orange ballot paper because we obviously have loads of different ballot papers.
Sure.
I'm running because it's such an important seat that these people are overseeing the major policies and budgets that the mayor's putting out there, and they're making a decision on them. Mm-hmm. And I just feel that they're not really caring enough.
Sure.
Because should things be this bad?
Yeah.
Are they actually there challenging, making the right decisions? I have evidence where I've seen where they've been contacted and not a single one of them replies back.
Yeah.
That's just, only last month. So that for me is not acceptable.
No.
If you're sitting there representing the people of London, you've been elected in that seat,
sure.
you should do your bloody
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
And you should represent the people.
Yeah.
And if someone contacts you, reply to them. It's called respect and common decency.
Yeah, it is called respect. Yes, it is.
And that's why I'm running.
Fantastic.
Because I'm running so people, you have someone there that will listen to you and will reply to you and will ask those questions to the people that need to answer them.
Wow. Can I just say, we've gone over time, but that's fine for today because it has been, as Paul said, an amazing show. And I want to give a personal invitation to Farah to come back again before May the 2nd and indeed after May the 2nd as well, because of what you have brought to the maths show this evening, the passion. When you were working with the two young children, Farah, I could see because you brought Lorenzo into to give him a cuddle. You asked his mum first. His mum said yes, and that was beautiful. And when they were both sitting next to you, I could see they just felt so relaxed. And that's not easy with young people at all. And the fact that they came onto the radio station answering quite challenging questions, that is testimony to what you have brought to Chalkhill Community Radio Station this evening. So can I extend a heartfelt thank you for coming down, and I really hope that you've enjoyed coming to our studio and the podcast. Dean on my left hand side it makes up the third part of Sovereign Comics. Come in, Dean.
Come in, Dean.
Come and get your face in there, Dean. So
this is Dean.
Yeah, so this is Dean. Right. So Dean is the graphic, the pictorial. Dean is the one who makes the comic come alive with the characters. And I think you said it earlier, Farah, it's having the three of us working together for the benefit of our young people. And this is our legacy.
Passion and purpose.
It's the passion and the purpose.
Passion and purpose.
It's the passion and purpose. So,
well, thank you for having us. Thank you for having me.
No.
This has been so much fun.
Yep.
Best radio show I've ever been on.
Oh, thank
Just
you.
saying that. Hands down.
Right. Thank you.
Chalkhill Radio.
Fantastic.
It is amazing.
And can I just say before we finish, today is Ghana Independence
Independence
Ghana
Day.
Independence Day.
It is.
So when we leave the studio, I have made, Farah, for you and for all of us here, I've made some jollof rice, and there is some chicken, and there is some fish, and there is some hot pepper sauce. So I'm just saying to everyone, celebrate Ghana independence. Have a great evening. A big thank you to Farah, to Paul, to Lorenzo, to Malau, to the parents of, to the mums of Lorenzo and Malau, to Melissa Evans and everyone who has called in, to Marva, everyone who sent me a message. It's been an amazing show. And thank you very much and have a great evening. And thank you, Farah, and speak to you soon.
And thank you, everyone. And thank you for the Insta Live, everyone, all the comments.
Yeah.
And they want to say thank you to you,
Oh,
brother.
that's amazing.
That's what he says.
Okay, thank you, Rosin. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Have a great evening. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.